Expect a lot from a kitchen sponge. It has to work on every type of pot and pan, from non-stick to cast iron. It's got to tackle sticky mixing bowls and stained cutting boards. It should be tough enough for dirty chef's knives and box graters, but flexible enough for fragile wine glasses and little tiny measuring spoons. And after all that, it still has to soak up spills, scrub stoves, and wipe down countertops. So we were on a quest to find the best all-purpose sponge for every kitchen job. Now, several big brands had multiple sponges to choose from, so we bought them all, and we did elimination rounds, scrubbing sticky, cooked-on barbecue sauce and onions off skillets, and washing delicate wine glasses. And that gave us the best of each brand, leaving these 10 finalists. These sponges come at a wide range of prices, anywhere from about 70 cents to $6 a piece. And they're also surprisingly varied in terms of what they're made of and how they're designed. Now, to test them, we cleaned lots of different items while keeping an eye on the temperature of the water and the amount of soap we had to use. We made a lot of messes to clean up. We cooked scrambled eggs in a traditional stainless clad skillet with no oil, so you know that was not easy. We sauteed onions and deliberately burned sugary barbecue sauce into pans, and then evaluated how the sponges handled it. We seared fatty, greasy burgers in a cast iron pan, and we cleaned up. We scrubbed out floury, gummy mixing bowls where we'd mixed up sticky biscuit dough. We minced chipotle chilies in adobo sauce and made a big red spicy mess on our cutting boards, and then used the sponges to get the knives and boards cleaned up. And we grated a bunch of cheddar, then worked our way over the box graters to get them sparkling again. We also cleaned a small measuring spoon and a fragile stemmed wine glass. But that's not all. To see how they do when they were mopping up spills, we measured how much liquid each sponge could absorb at once. We measured and weighed and examined the sponges to see what factors mattered most. And we found 24 testers to take the sponges home to use in their own kitchens and then report back. Now, at the end, after all the scrubbing and rinsing, we compared a fresh, brand new set to our well-tested sponges to see how they'd held up. Some of them were pretty sad. But even before that point, it was clear that some of these sponges did not have the right stuff. Now look at this one. It looks like a little stuffed animal with fur. Now, not only was that as pathetic as you would imagine at actually scrubbing stuck food off a pan, just slipping around, it looked extremely unappetizing with food trapped in its sad little matted coat. Do not buy that sponge. Now, at the other extreme, this soft, bouncy, silicone, spiky sponge bragged that food would not get trapped. Now, it's called the Stay Clean Scrubber, but those impermeable silicone spikes can't grab stuck food and scrub it off anything. When we cleaned a knife, a bunch of spikes sliced right off. Water streams off it. It can't soak up a drop. And this guy, the Scrub Daddy, is pretty cute, right? It's made of foam that stays rigid in cold water and softens in hot water. It actually scrubbed surprisingly well at both temperatures, but in hot water it compressed down so much that it really wasn't very comfortable to use. And it was absorbent, but not very versatile. It's so springy that it really had a hard time folding around chef's knives and getting into wine glasses, and it tore during testing. Not good. So, what did work? Our favorite sponges had a few things in common, including coarser, more visibly textured surfaces that made cleaning easier. Two had fibers that were formed into loops or woven into netting that acted like little mini scrapers. The other ones had wide ridges like on a grill pan or were covered with bumps and valleys like an egg crate. Now, overall, sponges with abrasive surfaces and extra texture, that added some force to each scrub, helping us loosen stuck food and nudge it off. The size and shape of the sponges mattered too. We really liked sponges that were thick enough to put some distance between us and whatever we were cleaning, but also small enough to feel maneuverable. The biggest, puffiest sponges were hard to squeeze into little wine glasses or small measuring spoons. We measured them all, and the most versatile sponges were mid-size, roughly 4¼ inches long, 2½ inches wide, and about an inch thick. At the end of all this testing, we had a winner and a recommendation for which is the best all-around kitchen sponge. It's called the O-Cedar Scrunge Multi-Use Scrubber Sponge and impressed us throughout testing. It looks like a traditional flat sponge, but it's better. The scrubbing surface is heavily textured and gritty, so it's really effective at removing stuck food and grease. The surface is covered with bumps and valleys, which made our scrubbing even more efficient. But it doesn't damage nonstick pans or delicate glassware. Now, the Scrunge was also one of the more absorbent sponges we tested, which makes it just right for cleaning counters or wiping up spills. It was pretty affordable at about $9.99 for 6 sponges, And best of all, it was durable and easy to rinse clean, even with sticky biscuit dough, so it will not let you down. Whether you're regularly cooking elaborate meals or you just need to wash your coffee cup in the morning, this is the sponge we recommend.